Let's be honest, most prospecting today relies on the same old filters: industry, company size, location. But what if I told you that there is a completely untapped data source that can give you a serious edge when it comes to prospecting? Yes, that data source is employee reviews. There are platforms like AmbitionBox that are filled with real insights about what actually is happening inside a company, be it benefits, culture, facilities, things that you won't be able to find on LinkedIn, Apollo, or any other platform. Now, here's the interesting part. We recently worked on a use case for a client in the facility management space where we wanted to identify companies that offer cafeteria services in their office. Now, this might sound simple at first, but it's actually hard to find this data using traditional tools. So instead of guessing, what we did is we used employee reviews as a signal. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how we used Clay to turn that into a scalable prospecting workflow. To begin with, first we needed a place where this data actually existed. So AmbitionBox was one such platform. So when you go to AmbitionBox, there is the company listings that are there. Now in the company listings itself, if you just go on to any particular company, there is a benefits section where you will be able to see what all benefits that company offers in terms of say office perks, professional support and learning and everything. So for us, what matters is the office perks, and that's wherein we see that there is cafeteria mentioned or office gym or any other facility that is mentioned. So for our client, the qualification criteria was that they need to have a cafeteria in place. So what we did is we first started by selecting say the region that we wanted to focus on, the sort of companies that are there. Then we used Clay for Chrome to get this data onto a Clay table. So what we did is we created a recipe around this. So a recipe is basically a process to scrape this data, wherein all we have to do is just select a list of company names. So over here, say for example, this is the company name. So I'll select that. I'll select the next company name, and this is how it is able to create that entire list. Similarly, what I also wanted to get is the industry. So this exact line over here that mentions the industry and the location is what I wanted to get. So again, if you see over here, this is on the right hand side. If you see, this is the sort of data that we are able to get. Then we have the company name, the industry, and the ratings. Now, once this data is onto Clay, as you can see, I have the company name and the industry that I have scraped or I have got from AmbitionBox. What I now want Clay to do is to find in the benefits section whether we are offering cafeteria or not. So this is wherein I'm building a Claygent. So I built Claygent over here, that's Clay's AI agent, to scrape data from AmbitionBox by searching for that company first, going to the benefit section and searching for keywords like cafeteria. So on the right hand side, if you can see, there is a complete prompt that I've generated, wherein we have asked it to go to AmbitionBox, that's the first objective, and search for that particular company. So this is the companies that they search for. Then it navigates to the benefit section and searches for keywords like cafeteria or cafe, and then gives us an output whether they are available or not. So if you see the response over here, this is wherein it tells us that yes, there is a cafeteria, it is mentioned, and it tells us what all steps did it take. So it visited the benefit section and then saw that okay, they are offering cafeteria. So what I did is I added that onto a column over here. So now I have a list of companies that have a cafeteria in place. So this becomes a very genuine prospect data for me, wherein I have real insights that I'm able to gather from employee reviews. Once this is done, what I need to do is I need to find relevant people to reach out to in these companies. So what we did is we then went on to create a data source of finding people from those specific companies. So as you can see over here, we use that entire company list and use keywords like admin, facility, and specific designations related to that to find the relevant POCs in those companies. And finally, once that was done, what we have in place is the complete data of people working in those companies. So as you can see over here, I now have prospects that I can approach, short saying that instead of say me explaining that I'm a facility services company, what I can say is that we observed that you have a cafeteria in place and we were just thinking if you would want to optimize your vendor management. So this becomes a much better conversation to have rather than going with a generic approach. So this is how we used an additional data point or an additional source to use as a parameter for qualifying further than basic prospecting. Now, what we have done and why this approach works is, one, because you are using real employee validated data. Second is you're identifying the actual infrastructure signals, like cafeteria is one such example. And what you're doing is you're reaching out with context that matters. Now, this is just one example of how you can use non-traditional data sources to get an edge in prospecting. So if you start thinking beyond standard filters, and think about filters like employee review, job description, website keywords, you can build a much sharper intent-driven list. And this was about it. So if you found this useful, I'll be sharing more such real GTM workflows. So make sure you subscribe to our channel and like the video if you found it useful. And if you want help building something like this, please feel free to reach out.